Hi everyone. Today Salesforce Consulting and Admin Training Day 11. So what are we going to learn today? Today's agenda is, we'll quickly go through the previous session of consulting. We'll talk about contract and how to create a contract in Salesforce, how to activate the contract, and what is the order. And then we'll talk about the marketing sales cloud architecture. And then we will talk about the service cloud. And in Service Cloud case object, we will discuss Service Cloud solution object, we will discuss. Quiz, homework, today's interview questions. Okay, quickly, what did we learn last class?
Code quotation.
Code quotation.
Price book.
Price book.
Like products. Price book entry. Code quotation. Versions of
Discounts on code.
Fishing quotation, discount.
We have seen till the discount, adding the discount in the quote line item. Right, so today we'll see the contract. So basically, what is the contract here? If you remember, whenever you buy a gold or when you take a loan, they will ask you to sign. Right? Because it's an agreement between the client and customer. Even when you are taking the project from the client, when you are handling the project from the client, so first the company has to sign it. The contract has to sign between the client and customer. So once it is signed, then the project will start. So why do we do this kind of a, why do we do sign? Basically, when we sign the contract, there is a lot of agreements behind it. Lot of agreements behind it. Like once the product is sold, one of the rule is once the product is sold, cannot be taken back. Right? Or whenever you convert or warranty converted by the vendor, or if you are taking any product, you are purchasing a product, right? When you are purchasing it, exchange offer will be available only for 15 days, right? And when you installing the app, there is a one checkbox that comes. Are you agreeing these terms and conditions? That's a contract you are giving to the company. Yes, I agree the terms and conditions. Please start installing the app. So those all are contracts. Whether you buy a product or install an app or you purchase in the supermarket, whatever we are doing it, ultimately we are signing the contract. So what is a contract here? Any term and conditions agreed at the time of a sale. Any terms and conditions agreed at the time of sale. Sales contract. In another word, we call it as a sales contract. So in Salesforce, the contract, to create a contract, navigation steps are, click on App Manager. It is in the Sales Cloud. Sales Cloud, click on App Manager. Then search for a contract. Click on the contract. Once you open the contract, this is how you will see. This is the screen. You will see contract, recently viewed. By default, it is landing here. There is a new button on the contract. In order to create it, click on the new button on the contract. You will see different sections in the contract. So first one is contract information. It will ask in the Salesforce, it will ask what are the contract information. Example, who is signed the contract? What is the company? Customer. Customer signed it. When the customer is signed, and contract start date and contract terms in months, how long the contract will go. Company sign date, when the company is signed. And then we'll have a address information and the description. So this is how it shows the screen. New contract. As soon as you click on a new contract, there are 3 mandatory fields. One is the account name. Who is the contract owner? Who is the contract, whether it is a business account or a person account? And what is the status of contract? And contract start date, when the contract is started. Contract terms in months. So these are the mandatory information. So let's go ahead and see in Salesforce. So in Salesforce, click on this, view all, search for a contract. So this is the one contract. So when you search it, it will be landed here to the recently viewed. Click on a new. Now you will see contract information, address information, description. Contract information, address information, description. Now, for example, we have an employee contract, right? You might be hearing it, employee contract. That means how long the employee will be working with a company as a contract, like a 6 months contract, 1 year contract, the contract period, right? So let's assume that the company called Dell. And status is in progress. Contract start date is from today, and the term in months, let's take 6 months. The employee contract starts today and 6 months. Customer signed. Who is the customer? Who is the employee? Let's take Andy. And customer signed title. What is the title of the what is the signed title? Employee contract. And when did the customer signed it? Today only customer signed it. You need not to add a price book. Price book is not mandatory here. Owner expiration notice. Like how frequently you wanted to send a notice. Like once this contract is done, after completing that, how you wanted to send the notice. Company signed by, who is the company that is signed? So let's assume that this is DEC batch. Company sign date, it's a signed today, right? Billing address, let's take some address, and then special terms. Special terms is like employee has to work 9 hours from Monday to Friday. And no leaves can be applied. No leaves approved. Only emergency leaves. Right, these are some terms. These are the few conditions, terms. Description, employee contract, holds for 6 months. Right? Click save. The record provided contains the field with the invalid data. Why it is coming here? Caption. Here, let's take a 30. So status, draft. Let's click on save. Right, as soon as you create it, it is the record is created with, this is the auto number. We call it auto number. All the contracts will be starting with 100. So these are the details are added, and history, if you wanted to attach any files or anything, you can upload it, like education certifications, anything. If you wanted to upload it, you can upload. Right, so what we have done, we have searched it for the contract, and we have created the contract. So let's create another one. Let's assume that Salesforce draft start date is from tomorrow, 6 months, and owner expiration notice every 15 days. Company sign by, yes, company sign date 31st, and then customer, this time David, customer sign title. Let's assume that Salesforce course. Salesforce course. And then customer sign date 31st. So these are not mandatory. So let's click on save. Once this is created, right, you have an option to activate it. Right, we can activate the contract. We can activate the contract. That means this contract is right now it is activated. For whom it is created? The Salesforce account. The contract is created and it is active. Now, in case if you wanted to see the printable view, you can view it. So this is my contract. Whatever the information I have it, this is my contract. Now, any questions on the contract? Any questions on the contract?
Swapna,
Yeah.
this contract, I mean, it should be related to any deal, right? Does it stand alone? We have to attach it with a particular deal, isn't it?
Yes.
Or opportunity.
That is hold on.
Okay.
But creating the contract, is there any questions?
No, all clear.
Okay. Now let's move on. Now we have activated the contract by clicking on the button called active button, right? So for single account, we can create a multiple contract. So for example, Dell company, we are sending the 6 employees as a contract, or I'm signing a contract related to 4 buildings, right? So for single account, we can create multiple contracts, and multiple contracts can be active. At the same time, it is possible that multiple contracts can be active. Now moving on to the order. Order is nothing but any accepted proposal. Any accepted proposal. First of all, what is an order here? Order is an agreement between a company and a customer. Order is agreement between the company and customer to provision the services or deliver products with a known quality, price, and date. So for example, order in simple term, order is nothing but any accepted proposal. Order is nothing but any accepted. Any accepted proposal of the product. Product and price is called order. So what does this mean? Order is nothing but, for example, you are buying the product, right? When you are buying the product, you propose some price, right? There is a price which is written on that, but you propose the price with the discount. Here the product is nothing but quotation. The quotation is accepted. What are the quotation we have sent it to the customer, right? What are the quotation that we have sent it to the customer? Assume that quotation is accepted by the customer. Once the quotation is accepted, then we have to raise an order. So first, whenever we are purchasing anything, first thing is that quotation. Quotation has to send it to the customer. If customer agrees the quotation, then we have to raise a order. Raise an order. Right? So order is nothing but what here? Order is nothing but, it's not a money. We are not talking about money. No money involvement in the order. We are not talking about the money here. I'm just talking about the order. There are different type of orders. For example, cash on delivery. COD, which is there in the Amazon or Flipkart. For example, cash on delivery. So that means I can raise an order without paying an amount. Without paying any cash, I can order it. Right? I can order without paying any cash, the COD. Here, once the order got generated, like for example, you go to the Amazon or a Snapdeal or Flipkart, there is an option called cash on delivery. So you select the option, you have choose the product and you have selected the option called cash on delivery, and then you clicked on a order. You clicked on a order. Assume that there is some 3 items which you wanted to purchase it. For all 3 items, you want to go with the cash on delivery. Now, when you are doing in this process, before the order, there is a total amount it will display. Total amount that gets displayed, right? Which you can download it as a PDF, PDF copy. The total amount is the 3 product sum. It is going to show 3 product sum. So you can download it in your system, right? So what are the total amount is there? Whatever the total amount is there, the total amount is almost similar to the, is it a order or is it a different? What is this? When we see the total amount, you guys are doing the cash on delivery, right? So when you see the total amount, what is that exactly? Is it a order or is it a different?
Order.
Invoice, ma'am.
It is not order.
It's an invoice.
It's just invoice. Yes.
Whatever you see, whatever the details it shows, the count, the total amount, right? That is an invoice. It's not an order because it is talking about the amount. It is talking about the amount. So you will review that how much it is costing, everything you will see. right? So that is a altogether different part. Whatever the bill that it shows before the order, the total amount, whatever you are seeing it, that's a different altogether. That is a invoice. We will discuss that later. For now, let's move on to the cash on delivery. So when you do the cash on delivery, so basically orders are, there are two types of order, B2B and B2C. Orders are two types of orders. So you might have heard about the purchase order and order. What is a purchase order? Purchase order is nothing but B2B, business to business. Order is nothing but B2C, business to customer. Orders are two types, purchase order, order. Now, what is the B2B? What is the B2C? B2B is a business to business, business to business. B2B is nothing but business to business. And B2C is nothing but business to customer. Business to customer. For example, let's take a scenario. Scenario is police department. Police department, they want to buy 100 cars. Assume that from Yamaha. Okay, they wanted to buy 100 cars. Right? So what is this here when they need 100 cars, right? This department goes to Yamaha. Okay, the police department goes to Yamaha and they requested, we need 100 cars by this date, by this time, and tell me what is the cost. Now, what is happening here between these two? Police department is a business, Yamaha is also business. When the deals happens between the business to business, when the deals happen between the business to business is called B2B. For example, CDCA training, right? CDCA Institute. CDCA Institute. So for example, they need assume that CDCA need 3 projectors. They need 3 projectors. So what they will do, this company, CDCA company, they will go to, assume that they will go to the Sony company called Sony company and they will request, we need 3 projectors or 4 projectors. Now what is happening here? This is a CDCA training is a business and Sony is a business. So the deal is happening between the business to business. The deal is happening between the business to business. When the deal happens between the business to business is called as a B2B. Whereas individual person is going to Yamaha. And this individual person want to buy a car or a motor. Now what is happening here? The individual person is nothing but a customer. Yamaha is business. When the deal happens between the customer and a business to customer, which is called as a B2C. This is B2C. So B2B is nothing but a business to business where the deal happens between both the businesses. B2C is nothing but business to customer. So in the business to customer, like when individual person go to buy a product by Yamaha motor, so first he need to pay an amount, right? First he need to pay an amount, then only the business will release the product. First the customer has to pay amount, then only they will release the amount. So first is customer has to pay money, then the product will be released. Then the product gets released. First money, then product. Whereas in B2B, first product, then money. Now, same scenario which we are talking about the police department. Now here, when the police department goes to the Yamaha for the 100 cars, what they will do is they will first talk about their deal. What is the deal? We need 100 cars. Police department says that we need 100 cars, and these 100 cars should be modified it, customized it with the white color and the symbols, everything we wanted to modify it, right? And do you think that initially the police department is going to pay for 100 cars to the Yamaha Motors? They won't be paying it. They won't be paying it to the Yamaha Motors. First, they will talk about the deal and they will give all the customization that needs to be happen on the car. There has to be name on the car and some symbols, everything, it's a white color or whatever the color symbols are there, everything they will talk about the deal. If Yamaha agrees, okay, we will give you 100 cars by this time. Then what they will do? They will sign a contract. So between the police department and Yamaha, there is a contract is signed. They will not pay any money. First, they will do the contract sign. Yes, I'll sign it. By this time, by this day, you will be delivering it. So we both are agreeing it. So that kind of a contract is happening it. When the contract is done, like once the Yamaha is ready to give all the 100 cars, right? Now what will happen? They will give the bill at the end of delivering the product. Yamaha will give the bill at the end of all the whatever you are done with all the customization. So that time they will give a bill. They will give a whatever the amount has happened for all the customization for the cars at the end of delivering. So Yamaha will give the bill to the police department. Now police department raise it to the government of Telangana and they will pay that. Now similar like a Dell, if CDCA training need 100 laptops. So what they will do, they will go to the Dell company. So they first sign the contract. Now I'm buying that 100 laptops from you. So the contract is signed. So whenever the Dell has 100 laptops, they will deliver to the CDCA training. And once it is delivered, then we have to pay the amount. So that means first product in the B2B, first always comes the product, then the money. In B2C, the first money and then the product will be delivered. And then the product will deliver. Right? So in other way, if I have to say B2B is nothing but a purchase order. B2B is nothing but a purchase order. Purchase order is nothing but we are promising it's a promise to the business that we will buy a product. Purchase order is nothing but they are giving a contract sign. They are saying that yes, it's our promise. We promise to the business that we will deliver or that we will buy a product, whatever you are going to build, customize it for us, right? So purchase order is nothing but a B2B. Order is just nothing but customer. Customer is dealing with the business. It's a B2C. Any questions on the order? Okay, so let's go ahead and see in Salesforce. And before going to the Salesforce, whenever we are creating an order, the contract number is a mandatory. What are the contract that we have created it should link to the order. It should link to the order. So what is that means? So let's go ahead and see that. So click on this, search for order, click on orders. Now click on new. When you click on a new, the first thing which you see is contract number. Contract number is a must in order to create an order. In order to create an order, contract number is must. The one which we have created it, 100. Now account name, I'll take a 4th day of class. Order status, yes, order is today. And the status draft, you can give the shipping address and billing address. Now here it will give an error. Let's click on save. Now what happened here? The order account, whatever the business account is there, it has to match with the contract number. Because before the order, the contract is signed with a specific business or signed with maybe customer, right? So whoever is signed the contract, when you are generating the order, if you are linking the contract account should match with order account. So when we were creating the 100, this is the account is Dell. Now what I'll do, I'll choose the Dell account. Now click on save. Now the order is generated. Order is generated in Salesforce. Now, once the order is generated, again we have to add the products. Again, we have to add the products. Now, these are the details, that account name, what kind of a order type. You can select the order type. Right now it is deactive. Now you can select that. Now, once the order is created, you can activate it, or else first we need to add the product. Whenever we create an order, it has to be, we have to link the product. We have to link the product. So I'm selecting the platinum and let's select whatever is there. Now I'm clicking on the next button. Quantity, let's assume 1. So let's click on save. I'm adding the product here. In case if you wanted to modify anything, you can modify it. Now, if you wanted to edit this product, you can click on the edit product. If you wanted to change the quantity, you can change, or the price also you can change it. So click on save, whatever the changes you wanted to make it. Now, you might be getting a question here. Let's go ahead and activate it before that. So draft, activated, click on save. The order contains inactive. What is the order contract is inactive means? Whatever the order that we have added here, it's a inactive. First we need to activate it. So we cannot activate the order if the contract is not active. Now, okay, so you might be getting a question. When we created the order, why do we need to add the products? Why do we need to add product? So the problem here is that, which is a out of the box Salesforce problem, you cannot convert the code which we have created on the opportunity, right? When we created the quotation, when we created the code on the opportunity, right here we have created the code. When we created the code, we have linked all the products and whatever is needed, we have added it here. Now, same thing I'm doing into the order also. Same thing I'm doing into the order. But when I do the order, you might be getting question that if I already have a code, cannot I convert the codes to the order? Cannot I convert codes to the order? Because as per the standard, as per the sales standard, first it has to be opportunity. We will be getting the opportunity. Once the opportunity, all the life cycle is done, then we will generate a code. The price code gets generated. After generating the price code, if the customer are satisfied, then we will generate an order. Then once the order is generated, then we will raise the invoice. Now, here, whatever the code is generated, for the same code, we are giving the order. For the same code, we are generating the order. So the question here is, why do I need to add a products again onto the order? Because we do not have that flexibility using the Salesforce standard. Using the Salesforce standard flow, we cannot convert quotation to order using the Salesforce standard. This piece is broken in Salesforce. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You cannot link the quotation, you cannot link the code to this order, or you cannot convert the codes to the order. You cannot do it using the Salesforce standard. If you have to do, if you need that, if you want to convert the quotations to order, then you have to use another software called billing software. What is that? Billing software, which is nothing but Salesforce CPQ and billing. Salesforce CPQ and billing. Using that software, that is the additional software, and it has some cost on top of it. It's not free. So using that software, you can convert the codes to the order. You can convert codes to the order using the Salesforce CPQ billing. So Salesforce CPQ billing, if you take it, so here we have a billing plus. Billing plus, this is another software. This is another software, billing plus. So using this billing plus, you can convert your codes to the order, and you can generate a bill, you can generate an invoice. You can generate an invoice. So if you need code, order, invoice, payment, everything, if you need it, you have to go with Salesforce CPQ and billing plus. What are the billing growth and billing plus is there? You need to use these softwares. So there is a code is different based on the deal between the company to company. So based on that, they will quote you how much it is going to charge. Based on the number of users, how many members are using the CPQ, billing and growth, everything based on that, they will raise a quote. Salesforce will raise a quote and they will give it to you. This is the additional software which is not available within the Salesforce. Whatever the by default Salesforce is there, it is not going to give you. right? If you use the billing plus additional software, then only you can convert the codes to the order, and then whatever is available in the codes, like a discount, we have applied a discount on the quote line items. So whatever we were able to do it, if you wanted to convert to the order, we have to use the additional part called billing. Now, the second thing is that if you go to view all, and here, if you see invoices, now order is done. Once the order is done, then we have to create a invoice, right? So invoice, if you see here, there is no new button. There is no new button. You cannot create an invoice in Salesforce. You cannot create an invoice in Salesforce. It's not possible. It's not possible to generate an invoice using the Salesforce standard. If you need this, you need to use the additional software called Salesforce CPQ and billing software. Right under the billing plus, the one which I have shown you, you get invoice. You get payment gateway. Because when we generate an invoice, right, because the money is not, the order, what are the money, they have to pay the amount, right? So when the invoice is generated, invoice is the part of billing, right? So somebody has to pay the amount, we need to collect the money, everything which is possible using the additional software. If somebody wants to return or refund as a part of billing, everything you have to use the additional software. You can see all of them here: payment authorization adjustment, payment authorization, payment gateway logs, payment gateways, payment line invoice, payment. But these all works when you have an additional Salesforce. All the billing happens in the different system. It doesn't happen in the Salesforce. Like when you are ordering in the Amazon, as soon as you click on that, I wanted to pay through the credit card, what happens? The billing part does not happen on the Amazon. Amazon is using some third-party system where you have to connect to the bank account and where you have to enter the PIN code and right, and it has to accept, then it will return back to the Amazon. So they are using the third-party system to accept the amount from the customer. So same way in Salesforce, we have an additional software which is called as a billing plus, the Salesforce CPQ and a billing plus. Using that, you can do the invoice, you can generate a bill, payment gateway, everything you can do it. If they wanted to refund or return, so they can do the refund line item, but the data has to come from the other system. The data has to come from other system, then only you can do it. Like invoice, you cannot see here. The other system has to send, it has to generate an invoice and send back to the Salesforce. It will send back to the Salesforce through the API. So when it sends back to the Salesforce, you will be able to see all the invoices that are generated in the additional system. Any questions on the invoice?
Swapna, isn't it possible, like we write Apex class and do the, such a scenario comes in the real life, company will ask us to, implement this, integrate this, or integrate a payment gateway. Does this happen in Salesforce?
If you need to implement also, you need to use the API. You cannot implement within the Salesforce. If you are not able to see here data, what you will do with the implementing it?
So now that converting code to order, right? Can't that be achieved using Apex class?
What do you mean by?
Like maybe we can create a button where we say okay, convert, and then it automatically adds the record into
Where you will
the
click on
order
convert?
table. Sorry,
Where you will click on convert?
no, I mean we can customize it, right? The component that way. We can't do that way.
if you do not have here option, the invoice generate, if you do not have this option, you don't have a data at all,
Okay.
right? So if you wanted to, the quote, what are the quotation you are talking about? If you wanted to convert that quote to the order, the lot of efforts you need to put it on. It's not so easy. But with the Salesforce CPQ and billing, it's just a configurable.
Okay.
Even in real time, if you have a invoice projects or there is a payment, some project which we need to implement related to the payment, capturing the payment, definitely we need to use the other system in order to generate the invoice, in order to generate the payment. So payment authorization, everything. Here I'm saying Salesforce CPQ and billing, but in the real time, we might use a different the app exchange or different managed packages which will be generated easily. So it's all depending on the what client wants to use.
Okay.
Yeah, CPQ is a very popular software. Many people learn it, and there is a certification on CPQ also.
Right.
So
Yes.
it is one of the good specialization to learn to do.
Yes, because it's a dealing with the billing. So every project, every product needs a billing. The one which is dealing with the billing, configure price quote. Right, the one which is dealing with the billing, every projects are using this CPQ. Wherever you have a billing functionality, and the good part is using the CPQ, you will be able to do most of the requirements. You can able to configure it instead of rather than spending the code, you can do the configuration. That's a simple, easiest way it has. So when you install the CPQ on the Salesforce, there is a additional features which is added onto the Salesforce. By using that, you can able to do.
But Swapna, in that case, finance and accounts and a number of other things also came into the picture. Like then we also need to integrate with finance, maybe
Yes.
Oracle or
Yes.
Tally or something like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And then I guess we need to have this Salesforce will manage the stock as well, right? With the CPQ, it does that stock management as well.
Stock, I'm not sure.
No, I think that material management is entirely different thing. Here we capture only products just to use in opportunity to create opportunity quotes or order.
Yes, that's right.
And suppose now if client does not have the CPQ, okay, so in that case they use Salesforce only up till the opportunity process. Hello?
Can you repeat that question again?
Yeah. So I'm saying if client does not have the CPQ, so do they use Salesforce only up till to create codes, opportunity codes in real
Yes,
life?
that is the lead
Okay.
life cycle. So if they want only the lead life cycle, they can go with that. And if they want a finance part or the billing part, then definitely they have to go with this.
Okay.
Okay, so let me allow to answer this. Actually, if customer has sales and service, both the addition, then they will complete entire sales cycle in Salesforce. Then it will go to some other external software. Then there they will complete all the finance, invoicing and billing related all the things. Then again, record come back to the Salesforce. And from here we can start service part, because in service parts, all the sales product convert into assets. So again, we will need those assets at the time of service. So from there, we can continue our entire service flow. That's why there is a lot of integration required in Salesforce project.
And not only the CPQ, there are many other products are there which are handling the billing.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Abhishek.
Ma'am, I heard
Yeah.
CPQ, is it part of Salesforce or it is in any third party tool? Right?
I cannot say this is the third party tool. It's basically the Salesforce product. It's Salesforce only. Salesforce CPQ billing growth. So basically when the Salesforce is started, this started with a very basic thing. And this is, I guess, 3 years back or 4 years back, they have introduced the CPQ by looking at the all different scenarios from the customers. So before they were not having the billing. So instead of modifying the base Salesforce, they gave us some additional software here, CPQ. But it is a part of
Then,
Salesforce.
then why we need to purchase that that special application, that software? Why we need to install?
Because that's how they came up with, because they said that we are giving anyway free Salesforce, but if you need a CPQ, you have to purchase it. It's a costly.
Okay. And one more thing, ma'am, if suppose invoice will be generated, then that particular customer will cancel that order again. What the effect on the that business cycle?
So again, there is a API calls happens. So if they wanted to return, for example, they bought 3 items, one item they wanted to return. So for that returning also, it has to go to the different either CPQ or a different third party. And there is some API integrations happen between the Salesforce and third party. And there they have to modify in their system and send back to the Salesforce in order to make a changes.
Yeah, okay.
So once the invoice is generated, then there is a delivery happens and then cash. This is B2C, business to customer. This is ideal sales flow in Salesforce. Okay, any questions till now?
Sapna, can you come back to the previous slide?
Yeah.
So when we receive money, then order converts into invoice, and what is the process?
Can you repeat that again?
So how order converted into invoice? Actually, I'm not still able to see previous slide. Yeah. So how order get converted into invoice? When I receive money, or how?
And that's what I have mentioned. For example, there are 2 types of orders, purchase order and the order. Let's take a purchase order, business to business. So when I placed 100 cars or when I placed 100 laptops, okay, the order got generated because the agreement, everything happened between our company and the Dell company. The deal has happened. That means the order is placed. Once the order is placed, they are going to customize the laptop because we wanted different laptops with some customization. So once they deliver, when they come for a deliver, or once they say that your order is ready. So that means when they say your order is ready, then we will go to the Dell company and we will review all our products. Is everything perfect or not? So once we review the order, then we will ask how much total. So the invoice, they are going to give us the total amount, the invoice of the what are the customization happened. So we will take the invoice and we will say that we will pay in 2-3 days because our company has to approve this invoice. They have to reimburse and give us the information. They have to give us the cash. So once the invoice is generated, we will take the product and invoice to the company. Company will send the information back to the Dell company.
Okay, thanks.
Now, marketing sales cloud, we have seen the campaign. From the campaign, the lead gets generated. From the lead cycle, we have seen from the lead, the account, contact, and opportunity is generated. And then in the opportunity, we have seen the sales cycle. There are different sales cycles, standard sales cycle. We can customize it. And we created the product, price book, we link the price book to the product, and then finally the product is linked to the opportunity. And then we enable the code. From the opportunity, we created the code. Now, after the code creation, in the code, we have a code cycle. After the code creation, there is a order which we generated, but there is no link between the code and order. Order is a separate, right? So that's the reason there is no connection with the sales cloud, say marketing sales cloud architecture, basic architecture. So there is no connection between the quote and order. We cannot convert it. So that's the reason there is a thin line. And each order, whenever we are generating a order, the contract has to be linked to the order. And then once the order is generated, we have to request the invoice from the CPQ billing or any other third party. So invoice
Swapna,
won't be there in the Salesforce.
Swapna, just now we did the order, right? Order for the B2C. So is there anything special for B2B or is it the same process?
Same process. Only the difference is the end user, customer or a business.
You mean the account, what we select?
Yeah, whether it is a person account or whether it is a business account.
Okay.
Now, the top one, campaign to lead, is a marketing cloud, and lead to till the order, right? It's a sales cloud. Now, next, moving on to the service cloud. The service cloud is nothing but any post-sale activity or inquiry is called service cloud. And in Salesforce, service cloud consists of case, solution, service contract, service resource group, service area, service appointment, work order. Now we'll see about the case. Any complaint or issues or a feedback is called a case. It's similar like I'm raising a case to the Salesforce support. I'm raising a case to the Geo, right? Whenever we raise a case, we are complaining about the AC, we are complaining about the fridge, we are complaining about the Salesforce. So whatever we raise in about the complaint issues, or we are giving the feedback about the product, everything is called as a case. So the navigation steps are to create a case, click on the app manager, service cloud, and click on new case. When you click on a new case, we have a different sections. One is case information, web information, additional information, and then description information. This is how you will see new case. So 4 sections: case information, web information, additional information, description information. So let's go ahead and see in Salesforce. Let's click on the app manager, view all. Let's switch to the service cloud. In service cloud, click on a case. By default, it will be landed onto the recently viewed. Click on a new case. When you click on a new case, right, there are 2 mandatory fields: status, case origin. Status and case origin. Now, for example, I am raising a case to the Salesforce support. I'm raising a case to the Salesforce support. For example, Melissa is raising it. Melissa is a contact, and this is a new case origin, whether through phone or email or web. Let's assume email. I'm sending an email. Account, The account is Salesforce. Type, I'll say that other. What is the case reason? Reason, I'll say the performance. And web email, the email, what are the email that you wanted to give, you can give the company, which are the company you have, and the web name and the phone number. Additional information, it's talking about the product here. Now, when you click on this product, right, you will not be able to see the products, the one which we have created. Yes, last sessions, we have created the products related to the Lightning, HTML, JavaScript, right? Those products we cannot see here. These are the standard products. We cannot see the Salesforce products here. We'll come to this later. And then potential liability, you can check yes or no. And if there is any number that is associated it, you can enter the number. SLA, service line agreement, whether you need a SLA to be tracked or not. And then you can add a subject, for example, Lightning performance issue. Lightning performance issue. I'll say description. When I refresh Lightning, it is automatically switching to classic. Let's assume that this is the one. Internal comments, if you wanted to add. Now here we have an option called send a notification email to contact. If you want to send a copy of notification, anyway, this email is going to raise and the related members will get an email. But you wanted to send an email to the contact, whoever is the contact that they are raising it. So if you want to send a copy to the contact, you can click on this save. So as soon as you click on a save, there is a record gets created. Contact has an invalid or missing email address. There is no email address. Let's take David. Let's click on save. Right. So if you do that, automatically there is an email which will go to the David. This is I have not written the email. I just clicked on that checkbox. It says that, dear David, thank you for contacting us with your information. Your reference number is so and so. The subject of case is Lightning performance issue. We look forward to speaking with you soon. Right? This is auto email that sends from the Salesforce. If you check that checkbox. Can I modify this format? Yes, you can modify it. You can modify, you can put the whatever the client needed based on the client information, you can modify it. Now here you see all the details. What are the details that we have added? Everything you can see the information. Right? So if you wanted to post anything, for example, I wanted to post, let's take is, it is critical impacting my clients. Impacting my clients. Let's share, click on share. So immediately it will share with whom? To internal members. Whoever is the internal members are there, you can share with them. Now also we have a poll option. Poll option is nothing but, so let's assume that I'm adding a question, is your Lightning experience working perfectly when you refresh? Right? This is question. I can add a choice, yes or no. If you want to add more choice, you can click on the add new choice. Now here, click on ask. So what will happen? Now, as soon as the poll is added here, right, it is available in the updates. For example, it is working fine. Click on vote. So one response. And also where all can see whatever the poll are requested. So you can see in the charter, we have another object called charter. Whatever the posts that are happening, whatever the posts are there, you can see all your posts in the charter, right? So who all can see? Only the members who has access to the org, they can view the information. So anybody is adding a post or poll or any questions, if they are doing it, everybody can see. Now, if you want, delete or bookmark, you can do that. Or if you wanted to add a comments, you can add it. So basically all the charts, we can see it here. Now, this is the how we create a case. This is how we create a case. So case details are here, case related. If you wanted to add any attachments, you can add the attachments related to the, for example, case, like when it is switching to the classic, what is exactly happening. If you wanted to take a video and upload it, you can upload. So you can upload the files. Right? So these all information, you can do it. Any questions on the case?
So now,
Yeah.
now this case to a customer, okay, he'll be adding a case. I mean, he has some issue,
Customer
correct?
does
So he
not
will.
do, customer does not, okay. So here in the Salesforce, when I am in a call, so customer called me, call the customer care. Okay, or they are, who can create a case here? The one who has the access to the Salesforce, or they can only create a case. So not everybody will be having the org access. Like if I wanted to create a case for the Salesforce support, there is a separate form that Salesforce is going to provide us. So I'll not be going to the Salesforce org and creating the case here. I'll be filling the form and they will be taking the details from that form and they will redirect it to the case. In order to create a case, they will implement a interface integration there to capture the information from the form and create a record in the case. That is the integration part. Yes.
I think where web 2 case is also one of the option where user can
Yes.
load the information and it will automatically get populated in Salesforce.
Right.
As well as email to case also is one of the option.
Email to case, yes, that is there. That is the, whenever we discuss about the emails part, we will discuss that.
Okay, so my question is in IT industry usually we have incidents. So
Mm.
how is case is different from incident? Like if we've got any problem or if I need any support from IT help desk, we usually log incidents. So is case similar to incidents or case is it different from incident?
It's almost same. Instant is nothing but whenever you have some issue in your laptop or whenever you have in the organization some issue, you will raise an instant, right? It's similar to the case.
But we always log incident against any employee, means contract. But I don't see any such information with case.
Okay,
Case is not logged
that
against
is
any.
different. That is different. I'm talking instant about the laptop or some mouse, but if you are talking about the instant about the employee, that is totally different.
Okay.
Any questions on the case? Yes, Archana, your question is resolved.
Yes, yes, yeah.
So let's go back. And the second one is solution. We have a second one in the Service Cloud called solution. Solution is nothing but any resolution to the problem. So solution is available only in Classic. It's not available in Lightning. We do not have a solution object in Lightning. It is available only in Classic. Why it is only in Classic? Maybe Salesforce might be in the process of moving to the Lightning, but so far it is just in Classic. Navigation steps, switch to the Salesforce Classic, select Service Cloud, click on the Solution tab and click on New. So this is how you will see the screen. Now, if you go back to the Salesforce and click on the App Manager, view all. So if you see here, solution is not available. If you type, right, this is a different Lightning Bolt solution, that is a different, but I do not have an object called solution. So in Lightning, we do not have it. So let's switch to the Classic, switch to Salesforce Classic. And then, yeah, so here, if you are redirected to the sales, just mention select the service, first select the app service. In the service, when you select it, here is the object called solution. Object called solution. So here, click on a new. So solution. So Lightning performance, the title is Lightning performance. And Salesforce is going to say that delete all cache in Pro or open Salesforce in incognito window. Okay, so let's click on this save. So like this, we can create a solution. So the number is an auto number which will be generated by the Salesforce. Whether you wanted to make this solution public, you can select it. And status draft, or if you wanted to reviewed or duplicate, you can, like it is a reviewed one. This is the perfect solution. You can select this as a reviewed. Visible in public knowledge base. That means we are frequently receiving these issues. So it's a simple scenario. Like for example, you are not able to log in the bank account, or you wanted to transfer the amount, but you do not see some options in the bank account. So what you will do, you will call the customer care and you will ask, so I'm not able to transfer the amount, I'm not able to see this information or that information. So they will note down the problem which you have raised it, and they will create a case for that. So once the case is created, assume that case is created, so they will ask that, okay, they collect all the information from you. They will say, collect all the information, and they will say that, okay, just hold on it for the 2 minutes. Just hold on, I have collected all your information. I'm going to save all the information. Then immediately they will come back and they will give us the solution, right? So how they will give us a solution? Because every case is connected to the solution. So here, if you search Lightning, find solution. What did we create? Solution. Lightning performance. So let's take this copying, go to the case and 1026. Or you can click on a view suggested solution and just select this, the one which is there. Select it. So it will be automatically added. So when you call the customer care, they will note down all your problem. They will ask you what is the problem, what are you facing it, which Chrome you are using it, everything they will ask. And they will take a 2 minutes time. In the 2 minutes time, they will find out, is there any similar solution for this? Is there any similar solution for this? And they will try to find the solution and they will open the solution and they will tell us that please refresh, right click on the refresh button and click on the inspect and just hard refresh. Everything they will tell step by step. Right? If you are not able to transfer the bank account, they will tell us to, okay, go here and do the updates, check, uncheck and save it and now try to transfer something. They will guide us, right? Sometimes they will guide us till it is actively, I'm able to transfer or I'm able to activate anything. So those all happens because they have these kind of solutions or this kind of a knowledge article in their system. Now, who all can see this solution? Everybody able to see. So whenever they try to create, they got a call from the customer and they have a similar issue. They created the issue, right? They created a case here and they found the solution and they suggested the solution. Everything worked perfectly fine. Now they will ask, is there anything that you want me to help you? If you say, no, I'm good, I'm able to create it, everything is working fine, then what I'll do, I'll close the case. I'll select closed and I'll say that it's a performance. And then if I wanted to submit this as a public solution, because this works perfectly fine, I'll click on the save. It worked. And then I'll click on a save button. So it will give when the case is created, date time closed and date time created. It created at 6:40 and we closed at 6:45. And all the information it is going to give us. What is the solution that is applied? This is the solution is applied. This is the solution which is applied. Now everything will be linked. So that's the reason whenever we call the customers, they have a already knowledge articles which is there in their org. And they are able to find those org by looking at that description, by looking at that notes, they will guide us to go here, do this step, and then finally click on save. Everything they will guide us to do that. Any questions on the solution?
Yeah. So that means a case can have multiple solutions, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then how now suppose a new case is coming, okay, which never occurred before. Okay, so now someone is typing a solution for it. Yeah. So how do you relate that solution to this case? We have to go in view suggested solution and then relate it, or we have to go in the solution and add the case to it.
For example, you are receiving the case for loan. Okay, find a solution. You will not be able to find, there is no solution. This is the first time it occurred. So what customer support says that give us the 1 day, ma'am, 1 day we will get back to you. Because in the 1 day, they will try to find what is the solution for this case.
And then once the solution is found, then we have to find from here and then attach to the case, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Any questions before I move on? Okay, so next we will be moving on to the questions. What is a product master?
Master table which holds the product data.
Yes. So which holds the maintaining the product and corresponding price. What is the product?
Any item or commodity available.
Any item which needs to sell.
Any item or commodity available for sale. What is price book?
Price book containing
strategy.
data depend on the different types of customers.
So pricing strategy given to a particular product.
Right. Where do we add price amount?
Price book.
Price book entry.
Yes, price book entry.
Price book entry.
Price book entry. What is contract?
A deal between the customer and
client.
Any terms
Legal
and
agreement
conditions
between
agreed
customer
between.
and supplier. So seller and supplier.
Yeah. So any term and conditions agreed at the time of sale. What are the different type of orders?
B2B, B2C.
Purchase order B2B, order B2C. What is Service Cloud?
post-sale activity,
Post-sale activity. Now
which is used.
create a following 4 contract in the Salesforce Sales Cloud. So adopt one contract, product agreement is another contract, billing another contract, Zoom another contract. So activate the first 3, right? Activate the adopt contract, product agreement contract, and billing activity. Billing contract activated, Zoom not active. And after that, create a 4 orders, adopt, product agreement, billing, Zoom. And while creating the order, link related contract to the orders. When you link a contract to the orders, what will happen here? The last one for the Zoom. Does it allow or not?
It will throw error saying there is no active.
It's not active contract. So what you have to do, you have to activate it after that and then connect it. And once adding the order, link the products. And next, create a 4 cases and solutions in the Salesforce Service Cloud. So network problem in Zio, notable to log in bank account, how to transfer amount, what are the best practice to get the job, Zoom is not working. So these are the cases, create the cases and create the solutions for this. Create the solution for this. Any questions on the homework? So we will be completing the Service Cloud tomorrow, hopefully. Then we will start the our admin classes.
Swapna, I'm having one thing like on lightning class we have discussed it, right, that checkbox true and false condition. We will, on clicking we will display the true and
Yeah.
so could you tell, actually I tried with adding the function. I'm checking the event and on click event.
We will discuss that when the lightning topic comes.
Okay.
Explain that.
Yeah, okay, so actually I tried to retrieve the value and I tried to change the value. But the value is, I mean, I tried to print that value also, but the value is not populating properly.
Okay, okay. So we'll see that, Bharati, in lightning class.
Okay, Swapna. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So today, what did we learn so far?
Orders, contract.
Contracts, orders.
Is
Cases.
Invoice.
solution.
Solution.
Yes, sir, solution.
Okay. Okay, then. If there are no questions, we are done with the session.
Swapna, there is one object called as asset, right? Which links the product with the order. So aren't we going to cover that? Hello?
Yeah, products linking to the asset. Where did you see that?
I mean, I just read through in how what is whenever a product is linked to the customer, order is generated, and then that is called as asset. So you generate cases based on the asset, right? Asset is something that when what is that? When the product is already sold to the customer.
What is the asset then? Okay, that's a different topic. Assets.
Yeah. So will it be covered?
When we are discussing the admin, I'll talk about that.
Okay.
So assets are basically, for example, if you take a vehicle, okay, vehicle is purchased. Now opportunity is created from the lead. Lead is got converted into the opportunity. Now, for which product and all the vehicle details sits into the asset. So what type of a vehicle, what color, everything will sits into the asset. Asset is nothing but in real time, it's a vehicle information. But as part of the sales functionality, it doesn't come into the picture.